What's your assessment of this one?
We played 16 minutes pretty good. Then for about 5 minutes, second half, so half a game. But give them credit, you know, they execute and hustle, and really well coached. So, but for 16 minutes, we were good. When I put Ryan Manuel back in the second half, I thought things changed for us for the better because he defended. We weren't getting really good defensive play out on the perimeter until he got back in the game. But you know, it's a good win in a tough environment. And now the real boys show up on Friday, so that'll be fun.
What do you think you guys have done through this point in the season, going when you face Virginia? What are you looking at really to measure against?
Well, I mean, you know, we played on the road against Arkansas. You know, I watched them today. They're pretty good. They're great at home, but we let them punch us in the mouth, and we didn't really compete till the last 7-8 minutes of the game. Then I was proud of the way we fought back, but you know, our goal coming here was to play against the better teams in some neat environments. So this will be a really good challenge for us because they're a top 20 team. They're well coached. They won't beat themselves. They'll be very physical, and we'll see how we respond.
How did you feel about your distribution of minutes up front tonight?
Well, Sean hurt his ankle, so that impacted it a lot. Cannon got in bad foul trouble. You know, I played Yannick more than I normally do because of that. He responded well. I thought second time Marcus went in, he was much better. But this is hard right now, finding minutes for guys. I look down the bench, they all look like they're angry they're not playing. And I'm watching some of these high school Americans sitting on the bench in major programs. You know, I watched Duke play. A couple of their best players didn't even get in. I watched Syracuse play. Highly recruited kids never even touched the floor. So we gotta cherish the minutes we get, and when we play, we gotta act excited and then do something when we play.
Nick Russell, I mean, that's a really good line.
He was great.
For him,
He was by far our best player tonight, I thought. You know, he hit a couple of big shots. We scored out of bounds a few times. Nick Moore hit one, and you know, Nick Russell got one when we were kind of struggling. But I thought Nick Russell did a great job on both ends.
Did you see anything in practice leading up to this game, or even in the recent games, to give you an indication that Nick had a strong game like this coming?
He's been good. He's been real good. I think playing off the ball has really helped him. You know, he's not making shots, but you know, he makes them in practice, and they're good shots. So I'm really pleased with the way he's played all year.
the doubling opponents and rebounds and points in the paint. I guess you'd like to continue that all season.
Yeah, well, they're big kids, you know, got in foul trouble, and they're undersized. That's how Texas A&M beat them. You know, I watched the game, and A&M beat them on the board badly, and they didn't shoot. They were 2 for 12, I think, in three-pointers against A&M. They were shooting 54 something going into the game from three. But you know, we talked about it before the game, taking care of the ball, which we didn't, getting the ball inside, which we did, and rebounding, which we did. But again, you know, when we played the first half, you know, we virtually shut them out for 16 minutes, and we gotta sustain it a little bit. It was almost like Pine Bluff again. They came out the second half with a lot more energy than we did. So we can't afford to do that against, conference teams and the better teams.
Yannick had a double-double against a guy who, at least on the roster sheet, had a 50-pound advantage on him. What was the key to his success against a larger interior guy?
He got in foul trouble, Hollyfield did. And I think, he only played 16 minutes, and that impacted it. But I watched him. He is physical and he's long. Yannick's getting better. There's no question about it. He's rebounding effectively. He didn't block a shot tonight, but he challenges shots. And this is a big adjustment coming from junior college. So much expected of him. But he starts eating 3 meals a day and gets a little stronger. George is working with him in that regard, and he's conscientious. He's going to get better and better.
The outside shooting, I guess if you had to pick something you could nitpick about, you want to bait on that for you?
We go 1 for 8, but I don't, we shot, 58% second half? I mean, I don't get caught up. I know Nick Russell can make threes, and, I know Nick Moore can shoot the ball. Keith hadn't made a shot, and he can really shoot it. The only guy that makes a 3 is Ryan, and that was a surprise. That's not his, strength, but he's working on it. But I think we can shoot the ball. I feel confident about that. But I'd rather get to the free throw line and get ball, points in the paint. And I think if we turn the ball over about 5 times on the break, that's when your shooting percentage goes up, but it's something to work on.
You mentioned how strong the defense was in the first half, and Sam Houston's shooting percentage went up 20 points in the second half. Was there a scheme change that they changed on the offensive end, or was it simply a matter of some shots started to fall?
Well, we had 10 turnovers second half, I think. I bet they scored on 6 or 8 of them. And then, 21 hits, Baxter hits 3 or 4 threes, I think, in the second half. They didn't shoot well from 3 the first half. They shot a little better. But, we turned it over and we struggled a little bit, I thought, offensively. But we really struggled defensively until Ryan got back in the game. Ryan started to put good ball pressure on. We had 1 big possession. As soon as he got in, we picked up. They turned it over when it got down to 12. And that was the first time we even pressured all night.
Anything else, guys?
All right, guys.